And this is 36, the podcast. 36, the podcast.
Fairbanks, North Star Borough, North Pole, Esther, Fort Wainwright, Alson Air Base, Delta Junction. You know what? Somebody called me out again this week because I forgot to mention Salcha. We see you too. I'm just going to start saying Fairbanks, North Star Borough, and everybody in the surrounding area. How about that? My name is Tilden.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Sarah.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Sarah?
Sarah Nichols. It's me on the mic.
Okay, so we have a special guest host with us today.
I'm pretty special.
Yes, you are. Sarah Nichols, and she's joining us today. Brandon, unfortunately, had a previous engagement.
Slacker. Previous engagement.
Exactly. And so he cannot be with us today, so we asked Sarah to stand in, and she graciously agreed to give us a little bit of her time. So thank you, Sarah, for coming out.
I'm excited. This is great.
And we're excited to have you. Now, so we have a special treat for you today. We have a special treat. And wait, hold on. Wait. What's that? Is it the state bird?
Buzz bomb?
Skaters?
Are they winged vampires?
Any helicopters?
Blood suckers.
Are they needle noses?
Airborne piranhas?
Flying syringes.
Okay, how about this one, Sarah? How about this one, Darren? How about the Alaskan Air Force?
Wah, wah, wah.
And so today we have with us the one and only Darren Resa, and he is the owner of Mosquito Authority. How are you doing, Darren?
I'm doing great, man.
Man,
Thanks for having me.
Look here. Thank you for coming out to join us today on this wonderful day. Beginning of the mosquito season, beginning of spring, summer here in the interior Alaska. And, we're going to talk mosquitoes today. So if you like mosquito treatment, if mosquitoes get on your nerves, this episode today is for you. However, as with every episode, before we get into the meat and potatoes, we do a taste test of today's tap at the Hoodoo Brewery Studios. So before we get into the meat and potatoes, before we get into the interview, we're going to each take a sample of today's pour. And, unfortunately, today, Sarah, and like I said, you don't necessarily have to partake of 36 ounces of beer. You could partake of 36 ounces of water, 36 ounces of root beer. It doesn't necessarily have to be beer. And so Sarah, she's not going to be joining us today, unfortunately. So we're going to make sure that we take care of your share of the.
I appreciate that. You guys pick up the slack for me.
Not a problem. So Bobby and the crew annually, they release a special beer, and it's a Maybach. And Jeff, did I say that correctly? Is it? Okay, so it's a Maybach. And so he does it once a year. It's a special release, and today was the day that he gave a little speech and he tapped the keg. So before we go any further, we're going to do a little taste test of today's pour. So everybody go ahead and just...
I might smell it.
Take a look. Yeah. Yes, so go ahead and
Let me just smell yours, Darren.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, good Lord. I used to drink beer a lot. I'm from Texas. I think I had a beer in my bottle. So
Yeah. Look here. That's a good tasting beer.
that smells good.
Oh, wow, that is really good.
Yeah, that's a good
great.
tasting beer right there.
It looks very summery, too. It's got a nice
Yes.
summer gold color.
Now, so the thing about this special release right here is there is a local artist who was tapped, from Alaska, and she was tapped to do the drawing for this year's bottle, T-shirts, stickers, posters, and whatnot. So if you come down and you like to drink beer and you do the annual Maybach release, come on down, get you a bottle. While you're here, grab a T-shirt, grab a sticker, or grab a poster if you like. But I guess he's going to have these beers and these T-shirts and these stickers on tap until supplies run out.
They got really cool glasses too.
Yeah, the glass is really good. I'm gonna have to make sure I get me
We've got a collection.
a glass before they sell out, because I think these are gonna sell out pretty quick. So yeah, so kudos once again to Bobby and the crew for coming up with another outstanding beer. So, without further ado, Darren, is it Darren Resa? Darren Resa.
It's Resa.
Okay,
But, I'll let the first one slide.
Okay. So Darren
Now I want to see
Resa?
what happens on the second one.
Yeah,
though.
there's only one S.
Okay. So thank you for joining us, sir.
I appreciate you having me, man.
All right. And so, like I said before, Darren Resa, he is the owner of Mosquito Authority. Is it Resa?
It's Resa.
Resa. Okay,
It's
look
Resa.
here. It's going to take me a couple of times.
okay.
So I
That's
think I've got it. Resa.
There we go.
Resa. So it's going to take me a couple of times, but I think that we're going to get it taken care of. All right. So, but charge it to my head, not my heart.
All right.
Charge it to my head, not my heart. So we're going to get ahead and we're going to go forward with the questions that we have for you.
Bring them on.
And so let's get this show on the road, shall we? Jeff, are you ready? Sarah, are you ready?
I'm ready. I live ready.
All righty, let's go. Okay, so I'm going to ask you the first question, and we're just going to go.
All right.
Okay, can you paint a picture for us of what it's really like dealing with mosquitoes in Alaska?
Well, it's busy, as you can imagine. That's one of the things we're guaranteed in Alaska is a little bit of smoke in the summer and mosquitoes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But it's great because we really only treat when it's nice outside. So we're out there enjoying the sun, and we mainly do residential. So we're just going house to house, treating neighborhoods, taking care of them one at a time.
Okay.
And yeah, it's great.
Okay. All
Keeps
right.
us pretty busy.
You
Gotcha.
said you only treat when it's nice outside, not when it's raining? Is that-
When
it
it's
has
raining,
to be-
because it has to stick. So we need to get it to stick. We need it to be dry for at least 20 minutes. So it's only when it's nice. It's a nice selling point when we're looking for new hires.
Yeah, got you.
You get to work outside only when it's nice.
Got you.
Okay, so what inspired you to get into the mosquito treatment company?
Well, obviously being born and raised up here, you hate them. You immediately hate them from when you're a little kid. But I actually got really lucky to fall into it. I had a friend that was going to buy into we are a national franchise, so we have that backing, that kind of technical expertise. But he was going to buy it, and he ended up needing to get restationed elsewhere. And he took me to lunch one day, and he was like, "Hey, somebody needs to do this, right?" And he dropped all this like research stuff like that on my lap, pretty much. And I went through, dug through it, and I called the company, did a couple of phone interviews, flew down and met them, and really took a leap of faith because we were the first ones doing any type of large scale mosquito treatments, mosquito control in the
Holy
state.
smokes! Yeah.
Most of the regulations, stuff like that, were kind of molded around our need for it. Essentially, they didn't even have them before we started treating.
Oh wow.
So we took a leap of faith, like I said, stroked a check, and kind of the rest is history.
Okay, now so is he? So you said he had to leave. Was he prior military or?
So he was in the Navy. I want to say like reserves or guard. Yeah, and then he had to move. He's back in Alaska now, southeast. Shout out Will Gordon.
Yeah.
He's doing well. He's doing well now. Yeah. But,
What up, Will? Thank you, sir.
yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
This one's for you.
Exactly.
I feel like I need that soundboard to just follow me around.
I know, right? Can we just have him follow you? Right? You got entrance music.
Yeah,
Exactly.
The applause, that really works
Yeah.
for me.
Boom.
Yeah, I'm like
Exactly.
Lady Gaga.
Exactly.
I always hear it in my head.
Yeah.
There it is.
Even better.
Go, Sarah.
That's the
Go,
one.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Like your own personal hype person.
I need a personal hype person.
Look
if
here.
anybody listening wants to apply, the pay is awful. But
Look, I think
all right.
we all could use a hype
I
person.
think so. I
Yeah.
think so.
Exactly.
That and a mosquito spray person in our life.
Exactly.
We've got one of those already.
All right, fine. All right, so Darren, I'm from Texas, and everything's bigger in Texas, is what I was told.
The second biggest state. Yeah.
Yeah, second.
Anyway.
And then I moved up here. So I didn't actually associate mosquitoes with Alaska till we moved up here. How bad does it actually get in Alaska with mosquitoes?
Oh, it's pretty terrible. Like it's pretty terrible, especially outside of the city because they're mostly spend their time in trees, stuff like that. So when you get out into the tundra, places where they can hide, you can look up YouTube videos where the sun is blotted out by mosquitoes, or they're wearing nets and they can't even see out because they're just covered in mosquitoes. That's a ways out, but you can get 20 bites walking your car if you don't walk fast enough. Depending on where you're at, it's real bad. But you're not the only one that wouldn't associate Alaska with mosquitoes. That's kind of something that people seem pretty surprised about. Really.
Most people think it snows 24 hours a day.
Yeah. People
we
are
all ride polar bears. To school.
Yeah.
We all
People
live
are
in
surprised we have
igloos.
internet. Yeah. What, you have internet there?
Yeah, funny true story. So when I first found out I was being assigned up here to Fort Wainwright, so don't laugh at me, but I watched episodes of Northern Exposure
Oh wow!
in order to prepare for coming up here. So that's what I expected Fairbanks to look like, was like this Northern Exposure. And so there was never an episode of Northern Exposure where they were battling mosquitoes.
Well, they should have been.
But when I arrived up here,
This might be a new reality TV show.
I'm telling you,
Copyright now.
exactly. I'm telling you, I'm staying at the RV park right there on West Airport, across from West Fred's, Chena Bend, I believe it is. Well, Chena Bend is the restaurant, I believe, but at that RV park right there.
Yeah,
and so, anyways,
on the river.
Bro, so for some reason, it took us 60-something days to close on our house. Something about Alaska laws don't allow you to close in 30 days. So we're staying in an RV park.
You're a realtor. Do you want to talk about that too?
That's some smoke, but
No, because we got here May 18th. We found our house by the end of May, and we didn't move in until July 20th. Anyways, we're staying at the RV park the whole time. And oh my gosh, that was my introduction to the mosquitoes.
Oh man, you got
in
trees
Alaska.
around you. They're gonna crush you.
Ooh, it was
I didn't
bad.
know they live in trees.
So they actually, mosquitoes really suck at life. To be honest with you,
Was that a pun? Were you
no,
being
yeah.
funny?
Hey, I didn't even. Yeah, now it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Yeah, of course it was.
They're actually
Boom.
really, for being like the most dangerous creature on the planet. They're really. Like I said,
They're the
they
most
suck at life.
dangerous
Yeah,
creature. Say that again. Why?
So they kill an average of 1 million people a year through mosquito-borne disease.
Ooh.
Luckily though, those mosquitoes haven't found a way to live in Alaska.
They're
really
in the
have-
warmer areas. Yeah.
So we don't have any mosquito vectoring or disease vectoring mosquitoes up here.
Those are like the
At
Zika
least,
or whatever.
Zika,
Malaria.
malaria, West Nile.
I had dengue
Chikungunya's
fever
about it,
once.
yeah.
Dengue is. Yeah, I
real
thought I
bad.
was going to die.
How'd
It
you
was real
contact that?
bad. Let's side story here.
Here we go. Yeah, let's
Look here,
Sorry,
here.
Darren.
look here. We segue a lot here, so get used to
I'm
it.
here for it.
I lived in the South Pacific for 2 years,
Okay.
and I got dengue fever in the South Pacific, and I was locked up for 2 weeks.
Ooh, quarantined?
No, not quarantine. It wasn't. Once you get it, it's
Okay.
passed through mosquitoes. So,
Got you.
not through me sneezing on anybody, thankfully, but. It was awful, and
It's real bad.
yeah, it was real bad. Like I lost probably 15, 20 pounds in the 2 weeks. Yeah.
Dengue fever diet.
Yeah, dengue fever. I look good afterwards. I don't recommend it, but not something I want to do again.
Yeah, 1 star. Would not recommend.
Oh, that's hilarious.
No, but I'm from Texas, though. We had the Zika mosquito in Texas, and I was pregnant, and there was a big deal, you can't go outside. And I was like, well, mosquitoes can come inside, too. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I didn't
down-
think most dangerous animal. That's
Look.
Yeah,
insane.
it's by like a decent amount.
Look here, we're gonna segue again. We're gonna segue,
Follow
and
us.
so I'm sorry here, Darren, but we're gonna segue real quick because I love your husband. Like he
I
makes
love my
me,
husband, too.
he
Yeah, we're
makes
talking
me
about Sarah now.
laugh.
He's not talking
Yes,
about
yes. I'm not talking about Darren.
Enough about
I'm talking
Darren,
about Sarah.
enough about Sarah.
I'm
Let's
talking
talk about
Sarah.
Les.
We're gonna briefly mention Les because that guy makes me laugh whenever I
for
hear
sure. Shout out
his
Les.
commercials. So look here,
There we go.
shout out.
Oh, wah, wah, wah.
Shout out to
You
Les.
don't need to press that button anymore. I can do it pretty well. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so I thought that you guys were from Fairbanks, Alaska.
Les is from Fairbanks, Alaska.
And how did you guys meet?
He knocked me over the head in Florida and drugged me to Alaska.
Okay, so where does Texas come into play?
I'm a 6th-generation Texan.
From which part?
Dallas.
Ah, okay,
But
yeah.
I'm a 2nd-generation Aggie, Texas A&M. Go
Boom,
Ags, yeah.
exactly. Okay, so I spent 16 years in Texas, and once I complete my commitment to the government, I want to call Texas my forever home.
You should.
Yeah. Well, Central Texas. So I'm from Coppers Cove, Lampasas. So I want to build.
okay.
Yeah. So my goal is to
shaking
build a
next to me.
barn-dominium in Lampasas.
That gets me like
Yeah,
hot and
yeah,
sweaty.
yeah.
Barn-dominium.
But
What a
okay,
buzzword.
so
Facebook's gonna go crazy just by you saying that. You're gonna
Barn-dominium?
You're gonna start seeing them on your feed.
Put
Bro,
your phone further away from you.
okay, so here's the thing, though. Once we left in 2018 to come up here for some reason, man, I don't know if you guys believe in the whole global warming thing, but there's been a bunch of tornadoes coming through the Lampasas area since 2018. Since we've been up here, as a matter of fact, my neighborhood where I lived for 14 years, a tornado went through in 2020 and took out my neighbor's house directly across the street from my house where I used to live. And that had never happened before. So now I'm kind of sort of like, maybe I should stay in Alaska.
Maybe it was punishing, like it was like luring you back, right? Like,
I dare you. To come
yeah, I
back here.
dare you. That's how Texas is, though. It's pretty sassy like that.
That's what I
Yeah.
hear.
That is hilarious.
Well, it's hard being the second biggest at something. Like
Yeah.
nobody wants that
But yeah,
title.
by a lot. Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
okay, come on. I mean,
Yeah.
size
I'm born
isn't
and
everything. I'm the
born and
only
raised
woman
here.
at the table, all right? Like, I can say that.
We can cut Alaska in two, and Texas could be the third largest state. Then.
Say,
That's true. If you guys
All right,
want
I'm
bronze
leaving.
instead
I'm
silver,
out of here.
instead
I'm
of
not
silver.
drinking. This is not fun anymore.
Okay, so we're gonna get back on track real quick
right.
because
All right,
we're gonna
all
segue. But I will say this though. So I think, Darren, that you will be the last audio only podcast.
That's smart.
Yeah, because we're gonna go video
We
from
have a
here
face
on
for
out.
only radio,
Yeah,
they
that's what I'm
said.
saying. I did my made sure my beard was good, my hair was good.
Oh.
He said, "Oh, we're only voice only." I'm
Yeah,
like,
but
thank God.
yeah, but we'll have you back though after the season, and we're gonna be and we're gonna be on YouTube,
Okay.
video podcast,
Okay.
and we'll have you back, and so people can see that nicely groomed beard
That's
that
a
you have going on.
And can we talk about his earring, too? I don't know if you can
Yes,
see this.
exactly.
Gold Nugget, Alaska. That was credit to my wife. She
Boom.
surprised me with it.
Okay,
Crystal, Yeah.
okay, happy
I
wife,
feel-
happy life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Boom.
She surprised me real nice with it. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really catching my eye. So.
Boom.
I'm sorry that we're not videotaping this.
Yeah.
I'll have to
We'll-
take
we'll
a
get
picture
it.
and post it to Facebook later so everybody can see it.
Look, so the next episode will be video, but
Nice.
we'll have you back.
Okay.
We'll definitely have you back. Okay, so
He didn't mention me, just you. Derek.
no,
you're still-
no. Look here.
You are still the face for radio, girl.
Look, Sarah. Once you're here, you're family. You're gonna
I've
be
got
back.
the T-shirt now. You know,
Exactly.
been there, done that. Got
Yeah,
the
so you-
T-shirt.
yeah, so
now
you're
you gotta have me
official.
back.
Yeah, you're official. It's all good though. You're
Still
like
on
you're the
probationary
fam.
period, though.
Look here.
Probationary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna see.
Look here, you're fam now.
Bam.
You're fam. Okay,
All right,
so
back on track.
back on track.
Bam,
Okay,
bam,
so
bam. All right.
okay, so Darren,
Yeah.
what's the typical mosquito season like in Alaska, and how do you and your crew prepare for it?
So we know we know that we're gonna have mosquitoes for sure. There's
Yes.
never we can't ever really tell like when it's gonna happen. So we just have to be prepared for when it hits 50 degrees for a few days in a row. Is really all it takes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So mosquito eggs aren't affected by the cold. So they're as soon as the snow starts melting and there's some water and some organic material, those eggs are gonna start hatching.
Okay.
That's why you're gonna start seeing them before all the snow's gone.
Okay.
Early. We kind of have to wait a bit until the leaves kind of fill in on the trees because
Okay.
that's really what we're treating on a property.
Okay, so let's segue a little bit because you keep on baffling me right now, and so I was told because I live on, so my house is on Chino Hot Springs,
Okay.
and I have a lot of birch trees and a lot of leaves on the uninhibited portions of my property.
Okay.
I was told that it's the mosquitoes are burrowed underneath all the leaves on the ground, but you're saying in the trees.
Yeah, so that's where they're going to spend the majority of their time. Like I said before, they because they suck at life. Most of the time, they're hiding up under leaves and deep in trees because they can't handle direct sunlight in really hot weather. They can't, like if a raindrop can kill them, they can dry out in the sun. So most of the time, they spend under leaves, kind of hiding out.
Okay, so you know what though? Because normally we take a break and after we come back from the break, we do like a free flow where we do like freestyle and we just ask questions that have popped up. But like, I've got a question for you though.
Here we go.
Man, another segue.
There we go.
How do those little mother bloops survive -40, -50 every year? What's up with that, bro? What's up with that?
No, it's because they're evil. They're evil, straight up. We already said most dangerous creature, but they find ways. They find ways to winter over. You talk to a lot of people, they'll see mosquitoes in their garage in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
They find ways to
Do they
winter
like hibernate, like go to sleep?
They
like
kind of do.
The tree frogs or whatever.
The females can live they can find ways to live for up to 8 months. Most of them don't. Their life cycle's a few weeks.
Yeah.
Typically.
But they have a lot of babies, right?
Yeah, exactly. They lay a lot of eggs, and then, like I said, the eggs aren't affected by the cold
because the eggs are up in the trees, not in
They'll lay the eggs in the ground.
Oh.
And some of them will actually lay them in like ditches and places that are going to accumulate water.
Yeah.
So like in anticipation of water, they're like, oh, they know that water's going to collect here when it rains. We'll lay them there. Water comes there, or things melt. And then it happens pretty quick.
Oh, wow.
There's even a breed of mosquito that their eggs have to freeze one time to even be viable.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we've made our own mosquitoes in Alaska?
Yeah, we have snow mosquitoes here.
Snow mosquitoes.
Yeah, they call them
Good
Snow
Lord.
mosquitoes.
Yeah. Look here. Our mosquitoes will beat your mosquitoes' ass.
Right. I feel like we need a T-shirt for the different types of mosquitoes we have, like a hoodoo X.
I love it. I love it.
Mosquito Authority.
I love it. We have, so there's about 3,500 breed of mosquitoes worldwide. We have about 35 of those in Alaska that are prevalent. But none of them are the ones that carry disease.
Like malaria and all that stuff.
At least yet. We've been getting a lot more mild winters even just since I've been here,
Right.
Not that many years ago, of course, born and raised.
Gotcha.
But yeah, even since I was a kid, we're not seeing super intense winters like we were. So if that continues like that, we'll see a more prevalence of different mosquito breeds, but also ticks and things like that.
Yeah, I've heard ticks. Is that something? Do you guys just spray for mosquitoes, or are you doing other things?
We do flies as well, and we can do ticks as well, and we're going to probably start doing that as the need arises.
Okay, I was told that there are no ticks.
There
up
weren't
here.
ticks like 10 years ago, but now in the last couple of years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've heard there's like 6 different types of ticks that they found.
Ooh.
Like just talking to like animal like boarding places and things,
Right.
and vets and things like that. They do see them occasionally.
Okay.
Mostly the south.
Yeah. Not as much up here, obviously, but
Yeah, I think Lyme disease and that, like those are like definitely a little warmer temperature. So
yeah. Or the Lone Star tick. Hopefully that doesn't make it up here. You get bit with one of those, you can't eat red meat anymore.
Well,
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't have gluten. I couldn't imagine not having
what would you
meat.
eat?
Nothing.
Just like lettuce?
I would lettuce.
Oops.
Yeah, rabbit food.
Is there a
only.
sad? Do you have a sad sound on your sound machine?
Let's see. Is there a sad sound?
Of course, he's got it up on deck.
Exactly.
It's my new favorite. It's my new favorite
Let's
thing.
see. You need one of those, Sarah.
I do need
You
one.
eat one of those. Yes.
All right, so since you said we have like 35 types, you said?
35, yeah.
So do you have to like change the chemicals you use for different areas or different breeds?
Luckily, they all kind of do the same thing, so we're able to treat for all the different breeds of mosquitoes with the way that we treat. There's 3 main categories of them, but depending on their behavior, but taking care of larvae and adult mosquitoes break up the life cycle of a mosquito, so then we're really able to control them. In Alaska, it's a little more difficult to treat for larvae, so we just have to really, one little teacup of water in your yard can breed about 20,000 mosquitoes.
Oh, come on, bro.
I know. But yeah, one little teacup of water is really all it takes to breed that many mosquitoes. So we're taking care of water. We're treating water in containers, and we're treating trees and foliage and non-flowering things as well.
Okay.
No gardens, anything like that, because they're really not going to spend any time there.
Got you.
So tell me a little bit about eco-friendly options. Tell me what is the chemical you're using? Is it something I need to be concerned about with pets, dogs, children?
No, it really isn't. We do have, quote unquote, all natural type of products, and we can do those. But what we found is that those products they tend to be less effective for a multitude of reasons, and people really want effectiveness up here. We do have, like I said, we do have those options, but one of the things that a synthetic product has is it has more longevity, so we can get 3 weeks out of a treatment. Alaska has an issue with big word drop, photo degradation.
That's what our brain sounds like.
Exactly.
I got it.
Okay.
So all I mean by it is that we've got so much sunlight up here, and the sunlight is what breaks down the chemical faster than anything. So the more synthetic products are able to last longer because they're not going to break down as fast in the sunlight. You need them to break down at a certain rate because anything that lasts a super long time is going to cause issues long term. So anything that lasts a lot longer than that is going to be pretty much way too strong. Like I said, mosquitoes being terrible at life, you don't need a lot to kill them. You need the correct product. You need to apply it correctly. But it doesn't take a very strong chemical to do that. They do have all natural options, but they just don't tend to work as well. And because they don't last as long, that means we have to apply them more often, which means more manpower, which means they're more expensive to do it. And when we really explain, the issues that it's really not causing any type of like eco damage that some people might associate with it, there's really, okay, well, I'll go with the less expensive, more effective option.
But like my kids can go outside. Like what's the time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean it's dry in like 15 minutes, so they wouldn't even be able to like feel any wetness.
Okay.
And we're applying only to like a perimeter, like a tree line, any foliage, non-flowering stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's so much better than spraying DEET on yourself, for instance.
Yeah.
That's a crazy toxic chemical that people think is fine to put on their skin because mosquitoes don't land on you and it keeps away, but it's a pretty nasty product when you
I'm going to because I'm going to hold back until we get to the freestyle portion of the show.
All right.
I want to hold back, but my next question for you, sir, is how do your treatments work, and what sets your approach apart from other pest control methods?
So there's kind of a multi-angled approach. You have to control adults, and you have to get a handle on larvae and eggs.
Okay.
To really break up the life cycle of the mosquito. If you only do one, right? If you only kill adults, then all the eggs are going to be growing up and coming back. Right. If you only take care of the eggs, other mosquitoes are going to move in and lay more eggs after you've removed them. You have to have a multi-angled approach to really control the life cycle of a mosquito.
Okay.
So what we do is we come onto a property, we assess it, we do a full walk around, after we let everybody know that we're there.
Yeah.
You don't want to walk onto somebody's property in Alaska without letting them know.
Exactly.
You
don't want to do that.
We've had issues. So once we let you know that we're there, we're going to walk around the property, look around, try to find any breeding habitat, things that really stick out to us. Our guys are really trained to find that type of stuff. Like I said, one little teacup of water can breed 20,000 mosquitoes.
Right.
So we've got to be really thorough with that. So once we're done doing that, then we go about treating the tree line around the open area of the property. If every now and then we've got to do some other little, I've got my camper parked over here, so we got to do a cutout around that. Or every property is a little different, but essentially you're finding ways to control larvae and adults.
Okay, so look here. I'm sorry, man.
I can see your wheels turning over here.
Look here. I should be saving this for the other second part of the
freestyle.
show, for the freestyle. But we're going to segue again.
There we go.
It's like, okay, can you castrate the males? Like, is there a chemical to castrate the males? Like, how do we bro?
So you want to get your mind blown again. Some people probably already know this. It's only the females that bite you.
Yeah,
So we got to keep them.
Yeah.
So so they're the ones that are really going to be biting you, but we've got to control them all at the same time. There's no, we chemically castrate them by killing them all.
Okay, okay.
I mean, that's really the easiest way at preventing their eggs from hatching, So
Right.
That's
Okay.
the best way to do it.
And another segue. And so, trust me, I've got enough questions in my head. I'm pretty sure Sarah does and Jeff does too to keep us going for the second half.
That's fine.
But mosquito magnets, thermocells, yada, yada, yada. Boom.
Thermocells. So thermocells, mosquito magnets are kind of like Blockbuster when Netflix came out. There's better options to do it. In certain areas where there's no foliage, things like that, where we can't treat, those will, they're an option that would work.
Gotcha.
But if you've got trees around the property really at all, that's where mosquitoes are going to be. That's where we're treating. It's going to be more effective.
Gotcha.
Also, the amount of misuse of those mosquito magnets that we see is crazy, right? It's in the name. It's a magnet.
Okay, when you say misuse,
my brain's already going.
the amount of front porches that I see mosquito magnets on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
crazy,
a no-no. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But
that's a no-no.
We go to houses and they're sitting on the front porch or on the deck and they're complaining about mosquitoes. They're pulling them in right there.
Right there, where the source.
Right?
Yeah.
So they give off CO2, which is one of the few things that are going to attract mosquitoes.
Right.
But when they come in from a long ways away because they see the CO2 and they're drawn to the CO2, they're also attracted to lactic acid and body heat.
Yeah.
You're a bigger target, and then you drop them into your house. You drop them into your area.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly, they need to be like a couple of 25 feet away from.
Put them out. Put them out a ways, and you're going to see some effectiveness with that.
Yeah.
And in certain scenarios, that'll be your only option.
Right.
But 9.5 times out of 10, you're going to have a lot more effectiveness with a treatment that we provide.
Got you.
It's kind of like using bear spray. Where people think, oh, we just spray this on our stuff and it keeps the bears away. No, it actually attracts the bears.
Exactly. It seasons you.
Yeah.
Seasons you for 'em.
Anyway, let's see here. Have you noticed any changes in mosquito behavior or populations over the years, especially the so-called climate change?
So we haven't seen a whole bunch. I mean, they come and go as far as population. We tend to find that when we have an extra rainy season, the following year is going to be bad because more water. There's going to be more mosquito eggs that are going to hatch the next spring. Also, like I had mentioned before, some mosquitoes lay their eggs in dry areas that will collect water. So if we don't get a lot of rain, those areas aren't going to collect enough water to hatch those mosquitoes. But if we do get a lot, then the water is going to rise and actually come in contact with those eggs, and we're going to have even more mosquitoes that next year. Essentially, it comes and goes in waves like bee populations or rabbit populations. It comes and goes.
Okay, so I did notice last year I was able to sit out on my patio all summer. Well, early summer, because I know the mosquitoes don't last all summer. But usually when there was a heavy mosquito population, I didn't have that last year. So what was that phenomenon last year?
So we got a freeze. I want to say it was May 5th.
Okay.
So we had a lot of mosquitoes were popping early last year. Then we actually hit a freeze. It got really cold. That tends to happen in May. But what happened last year, I think, is it froze and it killed a lot of mosquitoes. It killed a lot of mosquitoes before they had a chance to lay their eggs. So then a whole cycle of mosquitoes was missed because of that. It just dropped the population down right away. And yeah, we saw it all summer. The pressure, we call it mosquito pressure.
Yeah.
Mosquito pressure was low throughout most of the summer. We started seeing it more towards the end of the summer. The pressure was higher than it typically is. You know, we were treating into probably mid-September last year.
So is that phenomenon going to happen again this year or nah?
I mean, I can't really judge the weather. It really depends.
Okay.
You know, at this
We
point,
didn't have a late freeze though this year.
no, we didn't. It was kind of weird. It dropped, you know, into the mid-30s, and mosquitoes are going to be more active in 50 and above, or in the evenings typically. So it really hasn't gotten down, because I think it got down to like 0. Or it was a cold freeze for that time of year last year.
Yeah, it
And
was.
so
Yeah.
it really,
It was.
right after that, it just killed our pressure. And
Is
my interests don't exactly align with you guys. You love it. You know, I was like, come on, man.
Yeah, no
like,
doubt,
come
no
on.
doubt, no doubt. You're like, man, what is up with
Yeah.
this cold streak?
Exactly.
Go away.
Exactly.
Go away.
All right, can you talk about some of the biggest myths people believe about mosquitoes or mosquito controls besides putting a magnet on your front porch? What else?
One of the biggest things, like, it's not consequential at all. One of the things people think is you see different sizes of mosquitoes at different times throughout the year. People think the little ones are babies and the big ones are adults, but they're actually fully grown. They're just a different breed that are a different size.
Oh.
You know?
I feel like in the beginning of summer, they're fat and like
Yeah.
slow, and you can just swat them, and then they get faster. But you're saying they're two different.
So yeah, different breeds will hatch at different times throughout the year too.
Oh.
So that's what you get. We get those ones in the beginning of the summer, and then different breeds throughout the year. You'll actually notice a big boom throughout the summer, different times, because those mosquitoes are hatching at that time when they hadn't hatched yet.
Man, I need to save this for our freestyle, but it's on
You
my
got so many
mind,
questions,
man.
let's
So,
just do it.
bro, this is a good episode right here.
His brain is buzzing.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
get
I
it?
see what you did there.
Pets.
I see what you did there.
Look,
Yeah.
Wait.
Can you do that?
He doesn't
His
remember what
brain
button it
is
is.
buzzing.
Wait.
Oh, a little disco party.
My brain is buzzing, baby.
That's a brain buzz. Oh, break it down. Oh, he's still dancing. You guys can't see it, but he's dancing.
Okay,
On the video
anyways,
episode, you can
Tilden
see it.
was dancing. I
pets,
promise.
animals, livestock. Why don't they look? Those are easy. Okay, because retired military vet. Those are easy targets. Why have they not figured out
Hair, right?
easy targets?
Hair. We
Oh,
don't
no,
have hair.
They still get attacked. Like, you can, horses, things like that. Like, it can cause them anxiety to the point where they die. Like, because they get bite. They get
Jeez.
bit so
Oh,
bad.
really?
That's why their tails
That's
are
a-
swishing.
Yeah, I mean,
and-
that's a really easy target for mosquitoes.
Exactly.
If
They
you
need
have
to-
them, they're gonna get attacked. Yeah.
Okay, got you. Oh, but we did not know. I did not know that they got to the point so bad to where they will kill a.
In extreme cases, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wee.
because I mean, think about if
Just
you had
constant.
if you had a whole section of your body, a large part of it, where you couldn't scratch.
And you couldn't scratch.
Yeah, that would drive me nuts.
It would drive me nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
You know,
That's
so-
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it would be bad.
All right, so are we good to go?
I'm done with my question. I stayed on
Did I
task
answer
this time.
Okay,
No
so
segues for Sarah.
So good.
my final question for this first segment. Okay, so if there's one thing you wish for every Alaskan homeowner to know about mosquito prevention, what would it be?
Just take care of your water around your property.
Okay.
You know, just like a dripping hose can cause a little puddle underneath it.
Yeah.
One of the favorite things, like favorite places for mosquitoes to hide, is in tires.
Yes.
Right? You get that little bit of water in there, and
Yes.
it's protected as a mosquito hotel.
Okay.
I mean, they're just going crazy. I guess they're motel.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're
Gotcha.
just breathing like crazy. And then like corrugated pipes off of gutters on a
Rain
house.
spots.
Yes.
Right, because inside it's deep in a pipe, and then they've got a little bit of water in there, and it's completely protected from the elements.
Yeah.
Anything like that's going to breed them like crazy.
Got you.
And that's only one piece of the puzzle, but that's one of the only things you can do as yourself. You know, at your
Gotcha.
own property. Keep your gutters clean. Keep the water controlled.
Got you. Got you. All righty. Well, if you guys are still here, which I know you are because
Hopefully you are.
we've got some good, like this was a good informative segment
I've
right
learned
here.
a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Exactly. So we're going to end this first official segment and we're going to take a little breaky break. And when we come back, we're just going to freestyle.
Does that mean that we get to rap?
Yeah, I was gonna
We
say,
can
like,
rap, we
I'm
can
just
do
trying to
whatever.
I'm trying to run lines in my head.
Yeah.
I know.
Look here.
Mosquito,
because
mosquito. Oh,
I
I'll
have
save it.
Got
I'll save
some, I've got a lot of questions. I'm sure you do too.
I do.
Just some freestyle stuff.
Freestyle questions,
And when
Darren.
we come back, we will get busy with the freestyle. So
Can you
please
play
stay
that
tuned.
music again, just as we go out? Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Stay
there it
tuned for the freestyle.
Look here.
Is he gonna rap?
If you stick around for the next
for it.
half,
Hey.
we got a special treat.
Uh-oh.
Darren's gonna introduce a special code, and you'll get some money off. So stick around. Don't be a clown.
Oh. That can't be edited out.
Yeah,
Please
no,
keep that.
I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that.